What's up, Kaijudo YouTube? This is SDP-Pirate 2009, aka SexyDreamPirate. I'm coming to you February 7th, about 7:30. And I'll tell you what, I got my Going Out t-shirt on because I am excited. I just got on the Kaijudo Wiki and checked out some of the stuff that Yummy Michael threw up. I already knew about some of the new cards, but I guess he just threw up some new ones either today or late last night, something. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and use this video to talk about some of the cards that we're going to be getting in the Dragon Masters Collector's Kit, and also with some of the cards that have been spoiled in Dragonstrike and Furnace. So, by the way, I'm going to try and do some editing and throw the pictures up in this area whenever I talk about them, so bear with me if my editing is not that great. Anyways, starting off with the Dragon Masters Collector's Kit, we've got two cards that they're going to be given to us, two super rare promotional type deals. Necrodragon of Vile Ichor, which is, it's a 9 for 7,000 Terror Dragon, our first Terror Dragon in Kaijudo. It's Double Breaker and Slayer, and it has an effect called Acidic Breath. Basically, whenever he drops into the battle zone, for each dragon that you have in the battle zone, you can choose and break a shield. So it's a drop 9 Scaredorable that you can get the effect, like, you know, whenever he drops, there's a possibility with him costing 9, you can have 1 or maybe even 2 dragons in before you play him, so you can get a couple of uses out of that shield break. That card is alright. I mean, yeah, it's a Terror Dragon. It's really cool. They used the art from one of my favorite dragons in our previous game. But you know, overall, I mean, the card's good. I'm gonna need to see some play testing with it. I just think that there's maybe not necessarily in the Dragon Masters Collector's Kit, but we're gonna be getting better dragons very, very soon. Some hardcore stuff that I'm gonna talk about later in the video. Anyways, the other card that we're getting is Hammer Dragon Falburn. Armor Dragon, 7 for 6,000, Double Breaker. Its effect is called Draconic Roar, and basically, whenever he attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a non-evolution dragon, you can put it into the battle zone, otherwise it goes to the bottom of the deck. Okay guys, we just got the ability to cheat in creatures. This is a mechanic that we have not seen in Kaijudo, and I mean, I don't know the entire DM English library off the top of my head, but no cards come to mind that allow you to cheat in creatures multiple times, such as this. This card is crazy. The game is going to be so fast-paced, especially after this. Nature is going to be seeing a pretty big bump in the amount of people who are playing at least a heavy nature section. I mean, this card has an effect that is going to change games most definitely. You've got several turns to set up this, but, you know, whenever you get up to 6 mana, whether you play, you know, you could play Sprout and Reap and Sow and get up to 6 mana on turn 4 or something like that. But get up to 6 mana, drop Hyperspeed. If you have the Hammer Dragon in hand, you can drop Hyperspeed, tap 1 more to play Predict. It's a water card, tap 1. You can, like, you can pull up your top 4, put them in any order, get that dragon play set up, and then your next turn, charge 1, Hammer Dragon, gets the fast attack off of Hyperspeed. Whenever he swings, pull that top card, and as long as you did your counting right, because you're going to have to factor in the draw, as long as you did your counting right, bam, there's another dragon, cheated in, got it for free, and who knows, I mean, there's a lot of combos that you can do with that. You know, if you cheat in Tats the Unchained, you know, you banish something. I mean, that card is just, cheating in creatures is a huge ability, and, you know, we're getting it, so I hope you're prepared. We're probably going to see some more aggro-y decks, you know, some more high mana cost decks coming in with this, just so they can be playing some of these huge, awesome dragons that we're getting. But anyways, those are the two cards that we're getting here in, what, you know, 2 weeks-ish? week and a half. Anyways, coming March 16th, Dragonstrike Infernus drops. Okay, I went ahead and wrote down, jotted down all the stuff that's on the Kaijudo Wiki as of tonight. So, first of all, starting with the S1 Super Rare, I believe, Light got themselves a new Celestial Dragon, which is awesome. It's a race that I think is totally cool. Never saw anything like it in DM. But anyways, Light got a new Celestial Dragon. Andromeda of the Citadel is what it's called. And a Super Rare Celestial Dragon, 9 for 11,500. So it swings a little bit lower than the Fire and Nature Dragons that have been revealed so far. But anyways, he's a double breaker, always good. Whenever he enters the battle, well, first of all, he has an effect called Fortress of Light, and whenever he enters the battle zone, you draw 2 cards from the top of your deck, and they go into your shield zone. So basically, you top deck 2 shields. Always a good thing. If you last out till turn 9 and you drop this guy in there, the game just got infinitely longer. Unless, they've got some really killer stuff on field already. Also, the other effect, which is called Awe Strike, I think is very interesting. This is going to be one that I can see some, people making some really bad misplays on. But whenever one of your opponent's creatures attack you, your opponent chooses one of their untapped creatures, and that creature becomes tapped. So basically, for them to attack you once, they're tapping 2 creatures. Now, if they've only got 1 creature on the field, the effect, loses its pizzazz. But, I mean, if they've got a field with more than 2 creatures, especially if they were going to swing with both of them, like I said, the game just got infinitely longer. The new dragons that are coming out in Dragonstrike are so good. I really do suggest, if your opening hand, if you open up and you've got a Terror Pit or a Root Trap, you might want to hold on to that instead of charging that turn 1. Just to see, if they're going to go for the Mana Ramp Dragon Drop. Just saying. Anyways, that is our new Light Celestial Dragon, Andromeda of the Citadel. Digging the name. Next, this card's really good as well. Infernus the Awakened. So, we saw Infernus on the show. We're getting the card with our new set. He's another Armored Dragon. 9 for 13,000. So, really big body. Triple Breaker. So, I believe he's batting at Tats, Evo Tats right now. I don't know. I can't quite remember if Evo Tats is 12,000 or not. Not off the top of my head. Anyway, he has 2 effects. Inferno Rockets, basically, whenever he enters the battle zone, whenever Infernus enters the battle zone, and whenever he attacks, you can banish an enemy creature that is that has 4,000 power or less. So we had Tats the Unchained whenever he goes in, destroy something, or banish something that is 4,000 or less. Now we have this going multiple times. Granted, he comes out at turn 9, so he comes out with 9 mana, so if you're playing Mana Ramp, he'll come out sooner, but assuming he comes out on turn 9, he's not going to be swinging till turn 10, so this effect isn't going to be getting a whole lot of play if you're not running Mana Ramp, which I don't know why you'd run the dragons and not run Ramp, but if somebody does ramp up, or think about it, you could even use the Hammer Dragon, the Hyperspeed Hammer Dragon combo to get this in. Swing with Hammer Dragon, top deck, oh, it's Infernus, it's going in, it's a non-Evo Dragon, and then, you get the Banish, and then there's another really cool effect with it, Infernus's Decree. Your opponent can't summon any creatures that have 4,000 or less power. This is a huge gridlock. Basically what they have on field, unless they've got a finisher or something along those lines, isn't coming out. Granted, they could probably drop an Evo on you, but any card that's not an Evo, it's going to be a finisher if they're playing it. 4,000 is a pretty hefty, it's a pretty hefty amount You know, no more. They're not going to be summoning Rusalka to bounce back your big scary dragon. Yeah, there's just they're not going to be summoning up a chump block to, you know, buy them time. There's just okay. You know, let's say you're running some ramp or you got this card off early. They're not going to be able to play the tap 3 Scared Orbital, tap 5 Medusa or something like that. They're going to have the Bulver Medusa play ready for whenever this guy drops if you're running him. So, I mean, the effects together, granted, because they're not summoning anything 4,000 or less, you're not destroying anything 4,000 or less. But, I mean, I think definitely the Decree is going to be the main play factor out of this guy. But either way, 13,000, triple breaker, huge body. Really, I mean, it's going to be a fun card to play. Now, I'm going to move on to the next card that's been spoiled for us. Now, this card is what I see as by far the most powerful card that's been spoiled. It's up there with Neuron in the holy shit, this is so good, it's kind of broken. But the card is our nature dragon that we've gotten. Kurigar of the Hordes. Earthstrike Dragon, 9 for 12,000, so it's batting a little bit lower than Infernus. It can get punched by Flame Spike, Flame Spike Tats. You can do the Flame Spike Tats beatdown, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of stuff that's bigger than this guy. Okay, he is a triple breaker as well. So pound for pound, he's pretty much swinging up there with Infernus Awakened, because I mean, anything that 12,000 power isn't going to kill, 13,000 probably won't be making the difference either. The only thing that's going to be standing and banging with this is Flame Spike Tats, as of now. Unless you're running bump cards. But, anyways, 9 for 12,000, triple breaker. And then it has an effect called Ancient Call. Now this effect is why I see this card as being very much in that broken realm, along with Neuron. It's just so good. Neuron is so good right now because there's a very small amount of cards that can deal with it if it drops on turn 3. But this card, unless you have the Terror Pit or the Medusa play waiting in hand, you are in trouble. I could see a lot of people scooping just whenever this card drops. 9 for 12,000, triple breaker, Ancient Call. When a card is put into your mana zone, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a non-evolution creature, there's a lot of them. If it's a non-evolution creature, put it into your battle zone. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. So you can cheat multiple creatures in one turn, and you can do it for multiple turns. Turn 2, Sprout. Turn 3, Reap and Sow. Continue to ramp, whatever you got to do. Play Kurigar. Once you get up to 9 mana, play Kurigar. And it would be even better if you could drop in a large threat before that, so you can pull out that Medusa play, you know, so you can pull out their big removal. But anyways, whenever you can, drop Kurigar. Your next turn, assuming they don't banish it, because if they've got the banish, they'll be alright, but if they don't, they're screwed. Your next turn, okay, so you've got 9 mana at least, so you could have played Kurigar, unless you cheated him in, which is a possibility with Hammer Dragon. But you've got 9 mana, so on your turn, charge, cheat in a creature. So you're sitting at 10. Play Mana Storm, tap 5, charge 2 cards, cheat in 2 more creatures. You still have 5 more mana to summon, to, you know, low-level banish, or sorry, technically with nature it's not banish, to return to soil, to flame spike, or no, sorry, to prickleback and bronze arm sabertooth. I mean, the combos with Kurigar and then the nature civilization are infinitely limitless. You know, Sprout, Reap and Sow, Razorhide, Bronze Arm Tribe. There are so many mana ramp cards, and now, I mean, you can mana ramp a lot cheaper than what you can summon creatures. So now, you can just mana ramp yourself into a full field. And I could see that card being put on a banned list whenever we get OP. I mean, it's so good. It's going to be a lot of fun to play. It's not going to be a lot of fun to play against. Now, I could be totally wrong. Maybe nobody will run this, but I severely doubt it. You know, I think this card, assuming you're running an aggro deck, all of this stuff is pretty expensive. There's ways to make it cheaper, but it's pretty expensive. Assuming you're running an aggro deck, I don't see this card not being played. It's just so good. Scary good, actually. I mean, I'm looking forward to Dragonstrike. I want to see what people put together. But anyways, that is Kurgar of the Hordes. And I believe that's all the dragons that have been spoiled for us in Dragonstrike. Now, we got some really good Dragonstrike support cards that have been spoiled for us. We have Lux, which is a light card, a light civilization card. Get this, it's a Firebird. So I thought Firebird, you know, was a fire race, but apparently in this set, everybody, I'm assuming everybody, because 3 of the 5 races have already gotten a Firebird. But anyways, the light Firebird Lux, 2 for for 1500, which on the power side is not bad, especially for a support card. But it has the effect called Dragon Song, which basically means all of your dragons cost 1 less mana to summon. And keep in mind, you can play multiple Lux or Lux and Kanina to get the multiple Dragon Song to make your dragons look cheaper. But anyways, Dragon Song costs 1 less to summon and has an effect called Andromeda's Envoy. If one of your dragons would be banished, banish this creature instead. So if they have the Medusa play to get rid of Infernus the Awakened, or Kurgar of the Hordes, here's a way to keep him in there longer. Lux, the Firebird. Tapping 2, I mean, I could see, I mean, I think, honestly, I think the amount of Screeching Scared Orbles is going to fall, that are being played, is going to fall, especially whenever this drops. Screeching Scared Orble is a pretty good card, but the level banish is so low. A lot of cards, or a lot of decks, are actually starting to shy away from that, you know, having very many tap 2s. So, you know, granted it gets hit with cheap removal, but you know, it's just another card that can buy you time. It's some really good dragon support, especially to protect that Kurgar or the Infernus. So, I mean, overall, I could see this card getting some play, especially, I mean, if you're running dragons, of course, I could see it getting some play. It's a really good card. It's one of the better dragon supports that I think that have been spoiled so far. Anyways, Lux, Light Firebird, go figure. Next, another one that allows you to cheat in, Herald of Infernus. Now this one isn't quite as good as Hammer Dragon Falburn, but basically he's an armor dragon, 5 for 5,000, so we swing in standard, that's good. And he has an effect called War Cry. Whenever he wins a battle, whenever Herald of Infernus wins a battle, you can put a non-evolution dragon from your hand into the battle zone. It's a really good effect, especially if you're sitting on the dragon. You can drop this, and you know, assuming that if you're running Herald of Infernus along with tap down, then you're really working with a good combo, because you know, then you can go ahead and tap their creature and swing. You can get the effect off, because if you drop him, they're not going to swing with the small stuff, because you know, if you drop this, it's just going to be, you're kind of going to gridlock them unless they have something bigger that they're swinging with already. You know, that's how it's going to be. They're not going to try to block with any of their chump blocks, because then you win and you can summon in the dragon. Now, granted, hand advantage for this card is going to be really important. You have to have the hand to play it. You need to have those dragons in hand. So, you know, if you're going to play him, hopefully you either have a dragon in hand, or you've already played a Logos, or you've got a Logos in your hand ready for next turn, just so you can dig and get those dragons out there. Because if you're swinging with him and you don't have the dragon, then it's just a 5 for 5, which I believe is Snap Tongue. I might be wrong. But it's a good card. It allows you, anything that allows you to cheat in a creature that is playable is going to be a really good card. So it's a good card. Hand advantage is more important. Hammer Dragon Foulburn is better, but it's a super rare. This is a rare, so. Anyways, that's Herald of Infernus. Now we have 2 more cards that have been spoiled so far. Kanina. We got a re-release of Kanina. Firebird from the Fire Civilization. 4 for 2,000. Has Dragon Song, same as Lux. Dragons cost 1 less to summon. And then it has an effect, Infernus's on Envoy. All dragons get powerful attacker 2,000. So it's a cheaper, more specific Twin Cannon Maelstrom. I don't really think dragons need an extra 2,000 power, but you never know. You may be afraid of the Flame Spike beating down your Infernus. Yeah, you could be afraid of the Flame Spike beating down the Infernus, so you might play it. I suppose if you're wanting to make it cheaper, you know, definitely play it. But as far as the Firebirds that have been released goes, this one's definitely taken up that 3rd place spot.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun card, but the powerful attack is kind of unneeded for a race that swings so strong. I suppose it would bump up your Herald of Infernus.
Ouch.
To where he could hit something a bit bigger. He could take out the Dark Scared Orbital or so on and so forth. Anyways, our last card that has been spoiled so far, which I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, so bear with me. I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos and hear somebody say, okay, summoning this, but it is Beulah? What is it? What is it? Beulah. B-E-L-U-A. Beulah. Yeah. The Nature Firebird. The Lua? I don't know. I don't know. I need somebody to help me. There's not a dictionary for Kaijudo names. But anyways,
actually, there probably is.
It's a Nature Firebird. So, Nature Civ got a Firebird as well as Light. I'm waiting to see the Darkness. If they make a Water Firebird, I'm going to lose it. But anyways, Nature Firebird.
Water Fire.
4 for 2,000 power. Okay? That's lacking a little bit for Nature, honestly, but so is Bronze Arm Tribe, and it gets played. Has Dragon Song, so your Kurgar just got cheaper. That's always good. And then it has Kurgar's Envoy. Each of your dragons cannot be blocked by creatures that have less power than they do. So no more chump blocks. Let's see. If you run this card and Herald of Infernus, you're working against yourself. Not necessarily a good thing. It would be like running a Dracon deck with Skycrusher's Elite and Blastforged Slaver. You're kind of bumping effects. You're not wanting it, or you're not letting it work. But otherwise, you know, you're shutting down the chump block. You can get those big triple breaker hits with Infernus, with Kurgar. So, out of all of these, I think Lux is probably going to be the biggest player. I think Lux is really, really good. Tap 2, protect your dragon. You know, Slayers, it's going to protect from Slayers. It's going to protect from Banish. They have to get rid... Whether they try... I mean, they're going to have to get rid of that before they can get rid of your dragon. And if all they have in their hand is one Terror Pit or one Medusa, they're just not going to be able to play it. You know, they're not going to be able to get rid of them both. So, Lux, overall, out of the dragon support, I think is the best card. We got some... The others are fun, they're okay, but I think Lux is definitely the winner in all those. Infernus the Awakened is going to be really good. I like Andromeda the Citadel. Kurgar of the Hordes, you know, I think it's broken. Before it even drops, you know, The only thing that could possibly make it not broken is the fact that it's so expensive. But mana ramp decks can get up in the 9 range with no trouble. I mean, I'm looking forward. I want to see somebody drop the Kurgar and him last till the next turn so they can charge, Sprout, Bronze Arm Tribe, charge, Sprout, you know, charge, Sprout, Mana Storm, shenanigans everywhere. You might as well scoop because you lost already. You know, the only thing that could possibly keep this card from being broken is it comes in later than most finishers, so hopefully they can get it off. You know, hopefully they can knock you out before you play him. That's pretty much their only chance once he drops. But anyway, those are our new cards that have been spoiled. So I'm really, really pumped about all those. The Chaos is, I guess he's pumped as well. I don't know. He's definitely laughing.
I'm pumped right now. I'm making waffles.
Yeah, he's having waffles, so he's pumped as well. I'm pumped. I got my Going Out t-shirt on. I'm excited about the new cards. All that kind of stuff. But anyways, so I let you guys know about some of the cards that have, you know, coming to be dropped. Now, my predictions for the meta, you know, compared to now and what it will become. Okay, now, you know, whenever the game first came out, all of us older players assumed, you know, there were going to be pretty much 3 different types of decks. There was going to be Rush, play a bunch of weenies, break shields real quick. There was going to be Control, build your hand, deplete theirs, banish, sneak in, you know, drop the finisher, and do your job. And then there was going to be Aggro, which is mana ramp and keep playing big stuff that they can't deal with. You know, that's what we assumed. Now with Evo Fury, we basically have what I believe CVH from Peach is the first one that I heard use the term on a YouTube video. But now we have a 4th type of deck with all of our Evos, which he referred to as Tempo. And I really like that name. I'm going to continue to use it. Basically, now we have Tempo decks, and that arises from level-based removal and cheap Evos. Basically, Tempo decks have a Think a Mortal Kombat combo, you know, punch, punch, kick, finisher, that type deal. They have a set succession of cards that they want to play. Seneschal, Rusalka, Neptus, turn 6, you know, Dark Scared Orbital, you know, something like that. And right now, the big Tempo decks are, of course, everybody's been talking about it. Blurple, which is really good, I won't deny. And I guess what some people are referring to is a swamp deck right now with nature, dark, water, or you can even do just a straight nature deck, which I guess they've started calling Greek Tempo. Beats me. But anyways, we got Tempo style decks with Evo. Now, Tempo's really big right now. Control's really big right now. Aggro, you know, it's seeing some play, but it's lost some followers, especially with all the Evos that came in and all of the, you know, nice removal effects that we got. And Rush is always kind of been the black sheep, because if your opponent manages to last past turn 5, you're kind of screwed. So Rush, you know, it's always been the black sheep. It's fun to run, but it's not the most tournament competitive thing, especially since we have no max card limit. Anyways, with Dragonstrike dropping, I am predicting Aggro is going to be, once again, a big thing. People are going to want to play these new dragons, especially Kurgar of the Hordes. They're going to want to, you know, turn 2 Sprout, turn 3 Reap and Sow, turn 4 Bronze Arm Tribe, and then start dropping dragons and tearing stuff up. You know, I think that's gonna be what people want to run. And honestly, with Kurgar of the Hordes, I could see Mono Nature Beatdown being a thing if somebody wants to do it. I'm not going to say it's, you know, going to be tournament competitive or the most competitive, but, you know, it's going to be fun to play. especially with a card that will allow you to cheat in, you know, Earth Stomp Giant. But anyways, with Dragonstrike, I think tempo is going to fall out a little bit because, you know, they want to end in that mid-range game. I think control is going to be important because control can capitalize on some of these cards. I think aggro, definitely, because all these cards are aggro-oriented. I think aggro is going to be pretty decent. Rush, I can honestly see Rush being if we can get some more Rush-style cards, I could see Rush being a good, just, you know, all-around good answer to the Dragon beatdown aggros that we're going to be seeing. So, those are just some of my thoughts. I'm super excited about the new cards. If you guys haven't seen them yet, get on the Kaijudo Wiki, do a little bit of reading. I'm sure more of them are going to be spoiled. You know, just overall, just get pumped about Dragonstrike. Now, before I end this video, I want to let you guys know, me and the Chaos, we play in the southern Indiana area, the Kentucky, Illinois, tri-state area. We play in a town called Evansville, Indiana, at Comic Quest. Now, on March 16th, Comic Quest in Evansville, Indiana is going to be doing the Dragonstrike release event. And I'm going to be speaking to the store owner about being a coordinator for the dual days. So that stuff is going down in Evansville if you guys are in the area and you need some place to play. We've got people coming from 45 minutes away to play here. It's starting to become a pretty competitive scene, so if you guys are in the area, you play Kaijudo, come on down, come see me in the Chaos, have some fun. But overall, that's pretty much all I have to say for, you know, this video. So, you know, until next time, y'all keep playing.